topic, what I speak about, is one of the most vitally important issues of our age, and that is United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. And as I'll be talking about tomorrow, it is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that, well, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. Well, every nation that signed on to Agenda 21 has its local Agenda 21 plan. People in the United States are completely unaware of this. If I go out and talk about this, the United States press attacks me and calls me a conspiracy theorist, which is totally ridiculous. It is a conspiracy, but it's not a theory. It's a fact.
As I've studied various videos on the Australian situation, then what both firefighters and farmers have pointed out is that their government has, through totally illogical legislation, both mismanaged their forests and blocked access to many of them, resulting in a huge buildup of flammable materials both in the forest base and up in the canopy, all to ensure maximum flammability. Now, if this wasn't disastrous enough, now add the deliberate blocking and drying out of rivers and streams and the theft of groundwater, which is sold for multi-millions. But wait, it gets worse. To be 100% sure that their planned fires will turn into an absolute hell on earth, they've also purposely decided to spray these forests with strontium, barium, aluminium, or sparklers dust. And this crap is happening in every country globally 24/7. Now, if you are 40 plus years of age or older and you can't remember the true blue skies that you once looked at compared to these hazy white mixed with light blue color skies that we look at today, then you're, in my opinion, as good as blind. The annual spraying of 200 plus million tons of chemicals and metals on all land globally and its beings is the planet's largest conspiracy ever launched against humanity. And by using their fully controlled lamestream media, they control the narrative in social media, they mess with school and university curriculums and much more. And they manage to keep the masses indoctrinated to prolong their ongoing sky terrorism attacks. I like the saying, the eyes are useless if the mind is blind.
How often do you spray chemtrails? Now then, not that often, right?
Well, not that often, no. Depends on the government.
Yeah.
Depends on the government.
Yeah.
Now, you might find this depressing to hear, but so it was for any nation in history to learn that the enemy was heading their way with bombers and tanks. The point I'm making is that sooner or later you have to wake up to the fact that a silent and gradual war called Agenda 21 is being waged on us all globally with stealth attacks on everything we like as humans, that we treasure, that we want, love and admire. And the faster you can help awaken yourself and others and start retaliating against this insanity, the better. Now, burning down large areas of land and pushing people into smart cities is part of UN's Agenda 21 plan to manage inventory, as Rosa Corey, she pointed out earlier in this video, which of course is nothing but a barbaric land grab causing destruction of people's lives, businesses, property rights and their livelihoods, not to forget the animals, insects and plant life and much more. after any major disaster, if the masses or the victims again start watching the elite's lamestream media TV with their deceitful explanations on how it all went down, then they will continue to stay mentally delusional to the fact that these were actually long-term planned attacks, hidden under the lies of their favorite words like natural disaster or wildfires, new fire seasons, firenados, natural earthquakes or hurricanes, natural droughts or storms or floods. They also like using carbon emissions or don't enlarge your carbon footprint. And anyone who can point out their bullshit disclosing the truth gets labeled and put down as a conspiracy theorist or dissident or a terrorist or an extremist. Yet, who's the true criminals in reality? And does this nasty elite ever get punished? Well, maybe it's time we all change that. What do you think? The evil elite has a 3-step simple war formula to achieve their goals. Step 1, cause destruction. Step 2, control the reaction and impression. And step 3, implement their totalitarian and profit-making solution. As an example, in the American Constitution, which secretly went out the window in 1933 when the US went bankrupt, it says that the people have the right to arm themselves through a militia to be even better armed than their own government in case their government ever goes rogue. And have they gone rogue? Oh boy, have they gone rogue. You see, governments were only established for 3 main reasons to start with. 1, to help uphold legally binding contracts. 2, to help stop people from harassing or hurting each other. And 3, to stop foreign nations from invading their nation. So apart from this, our freedoms stop where our government's noses begin. However, the majority of people of every country has over time allowed governments to invade their lives and businesses in a multitude of ways. And the more they can steal of our human rights, civil rights and property rights, the more control they gain over us to make insane profits at the masses' expense and suffering. Now, with 179 countries that has signed genocide agreements, there is no other enemy to the UN than us, the people. Keep in mind that Henry Kissinger, just as one of them, said that depopulation is government's greatest priority. Yet neither he or any other politician will prove their commitment to such an evil cause by killing off their own families first. Yet it's fine that 7+ billion people gets culled before 2030 in their silly plan if they can have it their way, as seen on the Georgia Guidestones in the US. Well, how do we beat them, you might be asking yourself? Well, the first thing is for life and justice loving people to snap out of their pixel. Now, what do I mean by that? Imagine for a moment that planet Earth is a picture in a TV monitor. Unfortunately, most people don't care about this picture because as long as their little pixel is fine and they go night clubbing and have their job or get their pension and a few pleasures satisfied, then screw the bigger picture, which of course means everyone and everything else. And that's the beginning of the end if the masses are doing this. A proverb by Albert Einstein goes like this: the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything. So if you want to join the war, and it is a war against these nasty evil bastards, then make a conscious decision to devote at least 3 to 5% of your time waking up others and retaliating against UN's insane Agenda 21 plan, hidden under the name Sustainable Development Plan 2030. Then not only will it greatly boost your own self-esteem, but you will also help many generations in living sovereign lives like all good-hearted people should be doing.